Got you that fancy coffee you like.
I don't want it.
Oh, so expensive.
Many people believe that a price tag can accurately indicate whether or not something will be worth it. However, this rule of thumb isn't always foolproof, especially when it comes to our food. And so, here's the 411 on 15 expensive foods you shouldn't even bother trying. World's most expensive taco.
It's Taco Tuesday!
Did you know that you can make your taco night even fancier? Well, if you happen to go to Mexico, you can head over to the Gran Velas Los Cabos Resort and try the world's most expensive taco. Oh, and don't worry, it will only set you back a measly 25 grand.
What?
Okay, maybe worry a little. The record-holding taco features premium ingredients like langoustine, Kobe beef, almas beluga caviar, and black truffle brie cheese, all wrapped inside a gold-flaked corn tortilla. Decadence sure is expensive. So should you shell out the pesos? Well, chances are langoustine might not leave you satisfied like a traditionally cheesy taco can. Plus, think of it this way. You get to save the $25K for, say your children's college fund, or perhaps towards a down payment on a home. FleurBurger 5000.
This is a tasty burger.
Burgers are versatile and typically very tasty. They're also usually pretty cheap. But if you decide to add a bunch of overly expensive toppings, you sacrifice the price point and perhaps even some of the taste. And well, who wants to do that?
You tell me.
No, you tell me.
This is exactly what happened with the FleurBurger 5000 sold at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. It was created by a self-proclaimed burger fanatic, Chef Hubert Keller, who claims to have made the ultimate experience when it comes to a burger. Yeah, we're not so sure about that. The FleurBurger 5000, you guessed it, costs a wallet-burning $5,000 and is made with Kobe beef, is topped with black truffles and foie gras, and a sauce made with even more truffles. Sure, it also comes with fries and a nice bottle of wine, but still, this much money for a basically elite burger combo? Even in Sin City, that's gonna be a hard pass. The Barclay Prime Cheesesteak.
Should we get lunch?
I would love a cheesesteak.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
If you're a fan of cheesesteak, then you know all about Philadelphia and its unconditional love for the stuff. It is, after all, a sacred tradition, and they take it very, very seriously. However, Barclay Prime, a restaurant in Philly, seems to want to go against tradition, so they changed the way the cheesesteaks are made.
Game changer.
The Barclay Prime cheesesteak is truffled cheese whiz, which is basically a Mornay sauce with truffles and cheese, and has Wagyu ribeye, foie gras, and even more truffles, all piled on a sesame roll. We're pretty far from the original cheesesteak, that's for sure. It comes with half a bottle of champagne and will only cost you $120. Golden Opulence Sundae.
I think I'd like a hot fudge sundae.
This next item is called the Golden Opulence Sundae, and the name already says it all. This expensive treat is sold at Serendipity 3, a famed little restaurant in New York City that's been drawing tourists for decades, mostly because of its delicious frozen hot chocolates. But now, if you've got some money to burn, you can just slap a cool $1,000 on the counter and you will be given the Golden Opulence Sundae treatment.
That sounds expensive.
3 scoops of Tahitian vanilla ice cream covered in 23-karat gold leaf, almonds, caviar, and a sugar-forged orchid that takes a grand total of 8 hours to make. The sundae is then served in a $350 Baccarat crystal goblet with an 18-karat gold spoon on the side. That's a lot of bling for just 1 cup of ice cream. 777 Burger.
This is seriously as good or better than a real hamburger. Can I get a couple more to take to work?
If you've got some extra cash lying around and you don't know quite what to do with it, here's a little piece of advice. Don't bother spending it on the 777 Burger.
Trust me when I say this.
Served at La Burger Brasserie, the 777 Burger cleverly clocks in at $777 and is served with a bottle of Rosé Dom Perignon champagne to, help you wash it down. It consists of a surf and turf combo of Kobe beef and Maine lobster, along with pancetta, goat cheese, arugula, foie gras, and a drizzle of 100-year-aged balsamic vinegar. Earlier this year, none other than Gordon Ramsay gave the 777 burger a try and declared that it was disgustingly expensive but bloody delicious. $1 zillion lobster frittata.
You like seafood, do you?
Okay, the $1 zillion lobster frittata doesn't actually cost $1 zillion because, well, that would be beyond a little excessive, but it can cost a solid 2,000 big ones, depending on the version you decide to get. Served at Norma's at the Parker Meridian in Manhattan, the $1 zillion lobster frittata is made with 10 ounces of Cervuga caviar on top of Maine lobster in a frittata base of potatoes, eggs, chives, and cream. That's the super-size version.
Oh, hold that thought.
But if you really don't feel like downing 10 ounces of caviar, you can also opt for the regular portion with only 1 ounce of caviar. Plus, this version will only set you back $200, so it's definitely an improvement at 1/10 of the price. Louis XIII very expensive pizza.
Pizza time.
Pizza can run up a pretty high bill, and if you go to a place where they charge by the topping, well, cha-ching! However, unless you've had the Louis XIII very expensive pizza, you don't know what a real huge pizza bill truly is. In Italy, a master pizza chef, Renato Viola, can whip you up a $12,000 pizza in the comfort of your own home. No need to wait for delivery or to sit at a restaurant table like regular folk. All you need is a residence in Italy and an open door.
Scusi, BabbleTop? Che cosa? Peter, what are you doing? Speaking Italian.
You will get a pizza topped with a bunch of expensive seafood like lobster, mantis shrimp, and prawns, 3 types of caviar, organic buffalo mozzarella, and 7 other cheese varieties, and have it served with rare cognac and champagne. This pie takes over 72 hours to make, which is definitely part of the expensive factor. But still, that's a lot of moolah for such a tiny pizza. The Juuni Ban from Tokyo Dog.
I'm just getting a hot dog.
For those who needed a spin on the traditional hot dog, Seattle's Tokyo Dog food truck came up with a fancier, more expensive version known as the Juuni Ban. The Juuni Ban is so much more expensive, in fact, that it even earned a Guinness World Record for the most expensive hot dog. This shamelessly extravagant hot dog is available for $169 and is made with a 12-inch smoked cheese bratwurst with gourmet toppings like maitake mushrooms, buttered teriyaki grilled onions, luxurious wagyu beef, foie gras, decadent shaved black truffles, rich caviar, and tasty Japanese mayonnaise, all on a brioche bun.
I love it. It is simply awesome.
It's undoubtedly a ways away from the ketchup and mustard hot dog combination you get at a baseball game. Many people have traveled from very far to get their hands on a Juuni Ban, and most have described it as an explosion of flavors. Bird's nest soup.
The secret ingredient of my secret ingredient soup.
If you're at all familiar with expensive dishes from around the world, then you've probably heard about bird's nest soup at some point. The very pricey delicacy from China is made from dried bird saliva, along with pieces of an actual bird's nest. Yup. So it's not exactly the most appetizing meal ever, and yet it still sells for as much as $4,500 a bowl in Hong Kong. Do you think a bunch of moss, seaweed, feathers, and saliva is worth a giant hole in your pocket?
No! No!
Most people will compare bird's nest soup with slimy chicken soup. Yummy? And will say that it has no real distinct taste. It is supposedly eaten solely for the texture. Nice texture or not, the price tag seems a little excessive to essentially eat a heaping bowl of bird spit. Black Diamond ice cream.
Ice cream? I like ice cream.
At Scoopy Cafe in Dubai, it turns out that you can get the comfort of ice cream and pay a ridiculously high price for it at the same time. Black Diamond ice cream is considered to be the most expensive ice cream in the world, and for $817 for a scoop, it better be. This treat consists of a scoop of Madagascar vanilla ice cream topped with Italian truffles, saffron, black truffles, and 23-carat edible gold flakes.
Wow.
On the plus side, you get to keep the little Versace bowl it's served in, so that's exciting. We're not saying that this frozen golden dessert doesn't taste good, but you might still want to find a cheaper version for everyday consumption. Casu Marzu.
Now describe what you taste.
Cheese.
And
Cheese.
Ever heard of maggot cheese? Yes, you heard correctly, maggot cheese.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ugh, gross, right, guys?
As in a wheel of cheese crawling with little bugs. Surprisingly, maggot cheese, actually called Casu Marzu, is a true Italian delicacy and is very time-consuming to make, which is why it sells for about $100 per pound. 100 smackaroos per pound? For what? Well, Casu Marzu needs to be cured for 3 weeks until the top is cut off to expose the cheese to flies. Then, 3 months later, boom! You have a colony of larvae living inside the walls. Just lovely. Side note, Casu Marzu is locally protected in Sardinia due to its status as a traditional product, but it was also classified as illegal by the Italian government in the 1960s. Now that's some dicey cheese. Kopi Luwak.
Kopi Luwak, the rarest beverage in the world.
If you think the coffee at Starbucks is expensive, then just wait until you hear about Kopi Luwak. One single cup of Kopi Luwak can easily go for as much as a Benjamin. That's right, a cool $100 bill. Why? Well, because it's made of palm civet poop.
What did you say?
Okay, yes, there's a lot to unpack here. Like, for starters, what are palm civets? Well, they are little mammals found all over Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and India, also called luwak in Indonesia. Luwaks eat a lot of berries and coffee beans, but the only problem is they can't really digest the beans. You see where this is going, right? They end up in their feces, and people thought it would be a good idea to pick up the partially digested coffee beans and make coffee with them. The industry has grown, and today, Kopi Luwak is curiously pretty popular. We bet that $9 undigested Frappuccino is looking a lot better right about now, isn't it? Douche Burger.
I am America's #1 douche.
The Douche Burger was actually created as a kind of a joke to mock all of the other supposed douche burgers out there. The foie gras stuffed burger was sold by NYC food truck 666 Burger and was probably the most outrageous thing available on the menu. It cost $666 and came with a foie gras stuffed Kobe patty covered in Gruyere cheese melted with champagne steam, along with lobster truffles, caviar, and a barbecue sauce made with Kopi Luwak, the civet-digested coffee beans.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
The price was justifiable because of all the premium ingredients, but this one was more about for making you feel rich than satisfied. $1 billion popcorn.
Money, 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 money.
Once again, Burko's $1 billion popcorn doesn't actually cost $1 billion, but it's still a pretty hefty price for a bucket of kernels. The luxurious popcorn costs $5 per kernel, so beware of running up a nice final bill if you're planning on enjoying a Star Wars marathon.
May the Force be with you.
While yes, it is still a little less expensive than many things we've seen on this list so far, you can't deny that spending so much money on popcorn sounds kinda wild. It's so pricey because it is covered in 23-karat gold leaf and salt from the island of Leyse, while being mixed with Vermont creamery butter with strong hints of Nielsen Massey bourbon vanilla. It just seems to us like a good old bag of microwave popcorn could do the trick as well. But hey, it's up to you to decide. It's your dollar. Canard à Rouennaise.
We'll have the...
Now, this next one is definitely not going to be for everybody, so perhaps the squeamish should take a step outside right about now. Canard à Rouennaise is a classic French dish invented in the 1800s and is said to be quite delicious. The only problem is twofold. Number one, it's super expensive, and number two, the preparation process looks like it's a torture scene out of a horror film.
Pass. Yeah.
Canard is French for duck, which is cooked rare with its breast and legs removed before being placed over heat in cognac. The carcass is then skinned and squeezed until all of the juices have come out. Sparing some details, the sauce is made with consommé, champagne, coagulated blood, and liquefied guts of the duck before it's reduced and served with the meat. Let's just say this meal isn't for the faint of heart, or for anyone not willing to pay between $75 and $120 for a piece of this gory duck delicacy. That is, of course, if you've still got your appetite after learning how this dish is made. Get a taste of more great videos. Just tap or click, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad. And hey, leave us a comment.